So Chennedy Carter is a player for nobody right now. Absolutely nobody. She is not playing basketball, and we've now got a situation where we've got one of the 15 best players in the world just not in the league. Just not in the league.
Chennedy Carter just shoved Caitlin Clark on national TV, and now she's facing the full wrath of the WNBA. The backlash was swift and unforgiving. But here's the real story. This isn't just about one push. Carter's past is catching up with her. Locker room drama, clashes with teammates, and now the league turning its back on her. And trust me, this rabbit hole goes way deeper than you think.
I don't know why people be so surprised. Oh my God, Chennedy Carter deserved a play. Why? Did y'all forget all of the events that transpired last year with her and Caitlin Clark? And then she refused to own up to what she did? What organization want to deal with that?
But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just about the push. Chennedy Carter has been a ticking time bomb, clashing with teammates at every stop. And now, she's out of a job. Again, that's 4 teams that took a chance on her only to walk away. At this point, is there anyone left willing to take the risk?
And people was wondering on Twitter and X, why come she haven't found the team? I'm here to tell you. This ain't rocket science why she ain't found the team. I don't know why people be so surprised. Oh my God, Chennedy Carter deserved a play. Why?
Can you imagine being so talented yet so toxic that 4 teams all decided, yeah, we're better off without you? We're about to break down all the messy details that led to this moment, from locker room tension to that heated shove on Caitlin Clark. Buckle up, because this story's about to get wild. Let's set the scene. The Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever are going at it, their rivalry as intense as ever. The arena is packed, tensions are high, and Clark is on fire, sinking shots left and right like. It's nothing. The crowd is going crazy, the energy is electric. And then, everything changes.
Working it around here for the Fever. Good ball movement on this possession. Logo shot! Logo make for Clark!
The Indiana Fever. They make sure that the ball moves around until it gets back in the hands of Caitlin when she gives the ball up.
Well, the Fever on a 15-2 extended run from the end of the first quarter. Clark again.
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter.
But then, out of nowhere, Chennedy Carter snaps. She shoves Caitlin Clark hard, right in the middle of the game. The entire arena goes silent. It's like someone hit the pause button on reality, one of those moments where time stands still and everyone is just trying to process what they just witnessed.
Clark. I mean, that's clearly...
You might be thinking, it's just a push, right? Wrong. This is where things get wild. The refs are frozen in disbelief. The WNBA president is absolutely stunned. And Clark's face says it all. She can't believe what just went down. And Carter? No apology, no reaction. She just stands there like nothing even happened.
This was originally ruled an away from the ball foul, but it was obviously a flagrant foul. It really upset a lot of people, which really escalated the issue. And it was really just poor sportsmanship on Kennedy's part.
The WNBA officials don't hesitate. They call it a flagrant foul, unnecessary and reckless. Imagine playing in a league where a simple push is taken. That's seriously. This isn't tackle football, folks. In basketball, that kind of contact is a major no-go. Next Vios, but wait, it gets even crazier. After all the chaos, what does Carter do? Absolutely nothing. No apology, no explanation, just a shrug like it's no big deal. And when reporters press her for answers, she shuts it down with, "I'm not answering any Clark questions." If silence could start a fire, this one's a full-blown inferno.
Before bumping in with Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit after the Fever
I
score.
didn't answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
As now, everyone's asking, what's next for Carter? And let me tell you, it's not looking good. The league doesn't take this stuff lightly, and there's no way they're letting it slide. We're talking fines, suspensions, maybe even worse. Next Vios. But let's take a step back. This isn't just about one push or one game. It's about the future of the WNBA. Clark has been packing arenas and igniting excitement for women's basketball like never before. And now, right in the middle of all that momentum, we have this moment stealing the spotlight.
That right there, I believe, was the push that altered her career. And I'm telling you right now, it is not looking good for Chennedy Carter.
You have to wonder, what's going through Carter's mind right now? Did she not think about how bad this would look? Or was it just a moment of frustration spiraling out of control? And then there's Clark. She's handled it all like a true pro, but let's be real, this has to weigh on her. Imagine grinding your way to the top, becoming one of the league's best, only to have someone try to literally knock you down.
Now, a lot of people was kind of surprised by this. I'm not, because I know, you know what I'm saying? What she did to Caitlin Clark was completely unnecessary. And I'm here to tell you guys, she's living with that decision today because she is without a job.
Fans are going wild online. Social media is in a frenzy. Clips of the incident are everywhere. Debates are raging, and everyone is taking sides. It's like the entire basketball world is holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next.
When Tyler Marsh did the press conference, he talked about Angel Reese, he talked about Cardoso, who I think is going to be a star in the WNBA, but he did not really mention Chennedy Carter at all, and that raised a lot of eyebrows.
Here's the thing. This isn't just about Carter and Clark anymore. It's bigger than that. This is the WNBA drawing a line in the sand, setting a precedent for the entire league. How they handle this will send a clear message to every player, coach, and fan about what's acceptable and what's way out of bounds. You might think, surely Carter will get another chance, right? Wrong, completely wrong. The Chicago Sky didn't just bench her, they cut her loose. No trade, no contract, no core designation, just a simple, thanks for playing. Now leave.
One person said we still can't be doing this every year. Chennedy Carter is the reason WNBA won't take a risk on her.
Let's rewind for a second. Carter's history of drama is finally catching up with her. And it's not a good look. Her past, even messier than we thought. She left Texas A&M as a top prospect, landing as the Atlanta Dream's first-round pick, a clear sign of her incredible potential. But instead of building a lasting career, she let it all slip away. Let's break it down.
And she gets no offer to return from the Chicago Sky, which a lot of people have been feeling by her social media posts that she got quite offended by.
You're right. Carter didn't hold back when she clashed with Courtney Williams during her time with the Atlanta Dream. She was ready to throw down right there on the court. And let's be real, Courtney Williams is one of the most easygoing players in the league, someone who actively steers clear of drama. Now, imagine being so difficult that even she ends up in a dispute with you. That says a lot. At first, the Atlanta Dream didn't do much. They were stuck, but eventually they had no choice. Carter was suspended, and not long after, she was traded.
And there has not been a peep about anywhere that she could be landing in this free agency. So a lot of people, including myself, are wondering, is she worth the risk now?
But that wasn't the end of it. You'd think joining the Los Angeles Sparks would be a fresh start for Carter, right? Wrong again. Instead of turning things around, she ended up right back in the same situation. Benched for, you guessed it, poor conduct. No matter where she lands, the same issues keep popping up. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, trust me, it does. Keep listening.
Come on, cheer for your teammates, be a part of this team, and then ensues an altercation between the two where Chennedy Carter was sent to the locker room mid-game, of which afterwards, after the game, this is what has been reported. I guess Chennedy Carter wanted to fight Courtney Williams, like physically fight Courtney Williams, who backed away from this and was like, no way. So there was no actual physical altercation that happened. The Atlanta Dream did suspend her in the middle of the sophomore season, basically saying she was a detriment to the team and the team culture. So then the Atlanta Dream decided to trade her to the Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks.
At this point, you might be thinking, how bad could it really be? Well, let me spell it out for you. One WNBA executive straight up said they wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. And no, that's not an exaggeration. Carter has officially become radioactive. This isn't just one team or one GM passing on. Her The entire league is looking the other way.
She ended up playing a lot less minutes there, and the reasoning that these Sparks were saying that she was playing less minutes was because of poor conduct, and that was the 2022 season. Then in the 2023 season, the Sparks just decided to release her. None of the teams were willing to pick her up after that, so she ends up going over to Turkey, playing in Turkey, of which she balled out. So then the W team started looking at her again and being like, maybe we should give this person another chance. So she was signed to the Chicago Sky with Teresa Weatherspoon, with Angel Reese, with Camila Cardoso, and, the rest of the folks.
And if you need more proof, just look at what the Chicago Sky did. They didn't just release her, they made no effort to keep her. That speaks volumes. In the WNBA, teams rarely let their leading scorers go without getting something in return. When they do, it's a clear sign that the locker room issues were so bad, they'd rather move on with less talent than deal with the chaos.
I mean, look, maybe she's part of the culture problem. But that's very interesting.
The fallout from Carter's actions is shaking up the entire league. Her reputation has taken such a massive hit that even her undeniable talent can't outweigh the baggage she brings. It's a harsh reality check. In professional sports, talent alone isn't enough. Your attitude can make or break your career, no matter how good you are.
When he did that interview 2 months ago, once he got hired, saying he wants to build around Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese because they are the cornerstone of the team, I'm like, I'm all for it. I'm very excited. I'm like, you're absolutely correct. But it was no mention of Chennedy Carter. That's when I started to worry. Let me just read you some excerpts on, the T. So it says, according to multiple league sources, players were unhappy with the dynamic created in the locker room last year due to Carter's behavior, which went unchecked by former coach Teresa Weatherspoon.
The Chicago Sky locker room had turned into a battleground. Tension so thick it felt like a storm waiting to explode. Players whispered in corners, avoiding eye contact, their silence speaking louder than words. The energy was heavy, almost suffocating. And then, former coach Teresa Weatherspoon zeroed in on Chennedy Carter's behavior. You might think, how bad could it really be? But trust me, it got worse. One of Carter's own teammates, not just a bench player but a key figure on the team, went as far as calling her a locker room cancer. Let that sink in. They didn't just criticize her, they flat out said, "We're better off without her." Ouch. That wasn't just a burn, it was a scar that won't fade anytime soon.